It's the 40th London Marathon.
Oh, welcome.
If you're willing to work hard, it's a land of opportunity.
There's a lot of powerful, amazing, positive energy out there.
Did you get that? The secret ingredient is a lot of love.
We're on the road today going to see some businesses who have actually been able to not only just get through the pandemic, but been able to succeed. And one of the big ways that they've been able to succeed is service to others. I think that's pretty impressive, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got to say.
So where we're starting, it's the 40th London Marathon.
I first read about Hareesha Boyagodage when, during the height of the pandemic, he decided to run an international marathon virtually.
By the 7th mile, look at this beautiful road. Oh my goodness, it's just amazing. So why do I do this? I do this because I raise funds for Men's Cap. It's a charity.
What I found most fascinating about Hareesha's story wasn't that he is a hugely successful accountant with a love of running,
Berlin Marathon, NYC Half Marathon, New York City Marathon, Chicago Marathon.
but that he built his own business from the ground up, achieved financial independence, and now he dedicates his work to helping others.
After you get to a certain level, there's not a big difference between 100,000 and a million or a couple of millions. How many meals are you going to eat just because you have more money? And just because you have a bigger house, you're going to sleep on one bed. You know what I mean? Just because you have multiple houses, you're going to use one house at a time. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot of functional value in things like that. Living a life of service is what's going to give you ultimate happiness.
Hareesha donated these commercial copying machines to a school so that students could learn from home during the pandemic.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Okay? Thank you.
Another charity he supports provides food and education directly to students in Haiti. But Hareesha is realistic.
I'm not going to tell somebody hungry, go live a life of service. No, that person first needs to find something to eat. Somebody doesn't have a house to live or a place to live, cannot live a life of service because that person first needs to go and find a place to live.
Hareesha knows what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. When he and his wife left Sri Lanka to come to America in 2007, his pockets were virtually empty.
We brought $2,000, right? And looking back, that was naive. I didn't know, what to expect. But I told my mother-in-law, if I can't, make it to America before I run out of this, $2,000, I'm not man enough,
You've gone from having $2,000 in your pocket to where? Where are you now?
Probably 2.5 million, 3 million, yeah. Just finished the 7th mile, 19 more miles to go. It's a message to my friend, you are amazing, you're an amazing leader.
To keep himself positive and inspired during the virtual marathon, Hareesha sent messages of encouragement to each of his closest friends.
This money is, we had a bet some years back.
Which bet was this that I lost to you, but go ahead.
Mike Cash is a friend who personally witnessed Hareesha's rags to riches story.
You can see all the marathons he runs, which takes a lot of focus. He came over here, built a business, right? A very successful business, which you have people in this country for years who never do something like that. Mm-hmm. So you could just see, and he's got a great family, he's got a great life. So, but it's really his focus and his determination. He just keeps going.
If you're willing to work hard and then add value, provide services, it's a land of opportunity.
But life changed when the pandemic hit.
I was worried about a lot of my clients, how they're going to handle, because we have some, restaurants, bars, and then also some businesses like limousine, that works in the travel industry. So because, when the travel shut down, the economy shut down, they have to shut down everything. So I was really worried about them. I actually made a list of things that people could do, and then I started making YouTube videos and then put them out there. When are they going to release it? Who's going to get it? To get your business going, and you need working capital assistance. Some firms or accountants, they charge money to do those extra services because they're not regular staff. But I said, don't worry about it because it's a tough situation. Millionaire actually save more than $1 million, if you follow this, right. Looking back, I had some sort of like calmness, within the storm because I was not financially pressured. I think that's a big thing.
And Hareesha's wife, Budini, has been there to support him at every step of his journey.
I always supported him, whatever he wanted to do. Out of 90% stuff, turn out well. Yes.
What's the craziest thing you think he's done?
One thing, we came here in 2 weeks. He said, "Oh, I met someone on the road. That is a lady. She invited me to a meeting, and I'm going to go with her. She come and pick me up."
It was a recruiter.
Recruiter.
Yeah, it was a recruiter. They recruited me to an insurance agency.
And so you were getting into a car with a strange woman in a strange country. You've only been here for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And you're thinking, this is crazy. And you're thinking, hey, this could be my break.
Yes, yes. Yeah.